See, it felt great, man. I was out a little longer than I was expected to be, but it was just a blessing to be able to get out there. Every time there's something that unfortunately takes me away from the sport, I gain a little more appreciation for it, for the grind, for the process, and I believe that's the biggest thing that I took out of it again this time. Just the being able to fall in love with the process again. I feel like that was helpful for me this season since I've been here for quite a few of them now. But it felt great to be out there. Dylan, the guys, Big Blue Wall, they did a great job. I was out, especially getting Dylan those snaps, especially in-game snaps. While of course I don't never want anything to happen to me or any of the other guys, is getting in-game snaps is invaluable. So I think a lot of positive came out of it, and I think there's a lot of steps we can continue to take to move forward.
Just what were the emotions after that injury? I mean, you come back for the extra year to play left guard again, to prove yourself. The first game on a play that maybe shouldn't have even happened if the penalty gets thrown the play before, you get hurt, and it looks serious there for a second.
Yeah, definitely. Can't think about it like that. Can be out there. The ref's call is the ref's call. You have to, just play the game. Whatever happens, happens. But, honestly, it was definitely a shocker. It's definitely not obvious how I wanted it to go. One of my goals was to play the entire season, but obviously that was cut short quite early. But that just gives me new goals to focus on, new steps to achieve, new things that I could work towards to keep being the best player for myself and for my teammates.
Being a guy that you mentioned has been around as long as anybody, what does Tennessee Week mean to you?
It means a lot. A lot of these guys don't really understand it, being around only a couple years, but I've been able to see from the fans and gain experience. I was on the last team that went out to Neyland and beat them in Tennessee. So it's getting the guys to understand that it's just not an ordinary game. This is already an exceptional team, but now this is an exceptional team that does not like us a lot. And we're a team that does not like Tennessee. That's not something it's not a crazy thing to say. I feel like we understand that it's a rivalry, and we definitely respect our opponents greatly. We both want to come in there, both want to go into Kroger Field and get a win. It's just going to be about who wants it more.
So you think with your experience and things you've been through, that you can achieve a more leadership role? I think it's what some people are looking for as far as this team's concerned.
For sure. It was definitely harder to. It's definitely harder to be in that leadership role when you're out, because you're not around the guys as much, and you're not be able to go through the fire with the guys. And one of the most important things about being a leader is the guys see you going through it every day. So when you're able to say something or doing something, they're not second guessing it. They understand that you're not just talking out of one side, So it was obviously I was doing what I could on the sides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I cherish the role, being able to get back out on here on the field with the guys, being able to just reestablish that leadership role, not just in the locker room, but being able to let guys see me and see how I work, see how I operate, and continue to gain the respect from the guys from there.
How have they responded this week when some leadership's really needed?
I'm sorry?
I said, how have they responded on the off week and now when some leadership's really needed?
I think they responded well. I think we, as a team, responded well. We had a player-led meeting. A little while ago after the Missouri game, and we just had to sit down and just really realize what we were going through. It's very easy to say we're going to do this, and this in the season. But Coach says it, and you've probably heard Coach say it before the season even started. There's going to be times when we hit adversity. What are we going to do? My basic message when I was able to speak in the player-led meeting was I've been on teams to where we've been 10-3. I started on teams 4-6. And I started on team 7-5. And I think the biggest difference between those teams is our accountability. How do we respond when we get punched in the mouth? And I just believe that if we just continue to stay focused, this is still a team that can do some special things. And just the mere fact that we're 5-2 and very angry at ourselves is a testament to Coach Stoops and Coach Merrill, how far this program has come and how much our fans believe in us that we can achieve. So it's just up to us to continue to remember that as we're working, as we're grinding, because it's more than, like I said before, it's more than just the jersey on our name and stuff like that. This jersey, this logo, all this Kentucky blue, it means a lot to a lot of people in this state, and we just have to continue to hold on to that.
Right, we're hearing about this player-led meeting a bit more. From the reset you guys had in the bye week last week, what was it like to get in the room with everybody?
I'll keep, what was said between all us and my guys, but it was good. It was good to see the faces, and, a lot of people were disappointed, obviously, about the loss, so that was a good thing to see. People were frustrated. They had a chip on their shoulder, and when we had that meeting, going into the meeting and coming out, you can totally see the difference in the way guys attacked that practice and how we kind of attacked today. So, again, for us, we're done talking. We got to go out there and let our actions stand 10 toes on that. So, we could do all the talking in the world, but what we do in that stadium will reflect on what we've been saying.
Right, you've played for two teams now that doesn't like Tennessee very much. You have a little extra juice this week?
No, not at all. No. It's, not really. I'm not going to walk into that one.
Kenneth said this is a big deal, though, and he wanted the younger players on the team to know because he's played in a lot of these games.
For sure. He's playing a lot of them for sure. For me, it's just a regular football game. I think when you start putting too much pressure on it and you start applying that to the younger guys a lot, it becomes, people try to do too much, do more than what they need to do. And that's, again, living up to everybody's expectations. I know the whole city of Lex wants us to beat Tennessee and how much the rivalry, but we got to do what we got to do. And then we got to go within our expectations and what we hold in our standards. And it's going to be a good game. They're coming in, coming off a loss, and we're coming off a loss. And it's about just going out there and whoever team, gets a W, gets a W.
Well, you're a guy who can obviously lead by example, and you have done that on the field. Are you comfortable as a first-year guy, though, being an outspoken leader?
Yeah, for sure. Again, I had to come in and earn my respect. I didn't come in here and just assume that the position was going to be given to me. I didn't assume that just because I started, I was a guy that people were going to listen to. The position that I'm in right now, and I'm glad to be because I've earned my way here. It's week 8, and I'm happy that the guys trust me kind of deep down in this part of the season. So, it's good, it's fun, but at the end of the day, it's about just controlling what I can control and just keep being a guy that I can be.
What's it like having Kenneth back, a guy who's been around and is pretty good at what he does?
Horsey's been playing the game since 2012, so I heard that. No, it's good. It's good to have a veteran this back on the line. It's good to be able to have a guy who's been doing it for a while and he's played in big games like this and understanding how big it is to the coaching staff and just the city. But we also got to give credit to Dylan Ray. Dylan Ray stepped up and getting put in a position where he probably didn't think he was going to play that much, and he gave us about 7 weeks of just some really good balls. So I think the guys up front prepared him, and I think having Horsey back just gives him the confidence to know that he's done it, he can do it, and at any moment he needs to go back in, he can get it done.
Right, Coach Stoops has talked about how impressed he was with the things you do when you don't have the ball in your hands. Is that something you always took pride in, or did you have to learn that as you grew?
When I was young, I played quarterback, so I always had the ball in my hand, and I always had to throw it to people or hand it off. So I was like, I got to get used to this. But it's just about, again, being the best team that I can be on the field and off the field, and understanding that in order for our offense to move forward and continue to be a dominant offense, it needs to be. Sometimes that may be having to block, that may be having to catch, that may have to be able to be the good team I am to cheer the guys on and keep their heads up. So, it's all a part of the football. It's all a part of football. Not one guy can lead a whole team. And, I'm glad in the position I'm in to be able to be a testament to these guys and be able to go out there and just do what I need to do.
During the bye week, you can kind of look back and look forward. Are you happy with what you've done to this point, and what do you see? What do you want to do moving forward over these last five games?
Personally, I haven't thought about nothing personally. I think as a team, I would love to continue to build success on what we have shown in the past. The Florida game, the Vandy game, and just the games even before that. You look at the Georgia and Mizzou game, there were some really good moments that we had. Unfortunately, with some self-inflicted wounds that we kind of suffered. But as a team, again, just to continue to be who we are and controlling what we can control. And, I think, again, it's all the talking. It's eventually going to go away, and we got to go out there and play ball.